The second segment of the Renegades Racing Brand Facebook video will be about safety. Matt Gillick, Renegades Racing Brand Technical Director, will take over this part of the segment, and we have a number of situations we're going to talk about when it comes to our safety. Go ahead, Matt.
Thank you, Ron. All right, the first matter that we'd like to discuss is we would like to implement a fuel shutoff rule moving forward immediately. The fuel shutoff valve should be located on the dash or under the steering wheel. The reason for this is in the event that there's a crash, there's a medical situation, UMSS personnel needs to be able to shut the fuel off and have it located in a common location.
With that, this isn't a substantial change. This is consistent with many other sprint car series. So don't lose your mind, and we're certainly not trying to cost anybody money. We all know as racers that some of these fuel shutoffs are buried, or we even have a hard time reaching them. We just need to get them up, and this is one of those rules that might not disqualify you from racing for an evening. This is one of the things that Matt's going to be going around, and the Northern Renegades and all the series are going to have a safety director who will be looking at this, and this is for your own protection. So, there isn't a specified, it has to be right here, you have to buy this mount with this valve. We're not doing any of that. We just need to get them up where they can be accessed from the outside of the car easily, and a common place that the people know where to look. So,
and again, our number one priority is safety, and that's why we're implementing this.
The next change or clarification is helmet socks. We get in the habit of wearing them. Sometimes they slip. You've had me get on you guys a few times. Everybody's been great about wearing them. They're back in the habit. A few other products that are available is a helmet skirt. The skirt is fastened on the bottom part of the helmet where it goes down and gets tucked into your uniform. I feel those are safe. I've read the fire ratings. A couple guys have started to wear them already. I know one driver, he doubles it up with a sock. That's not required, but if you'd like to do that, that works. So helmet skirts will be included in a rule. So as long as it doesn't affect with your Hans device or how you need to wear it, feel free to include those in your safety gear.
So it's not a change. Helmet socks have always been required, the way I understand it.
Correct.
So we are just going to take a harder look at that to ensure that you're wearing them, and we're giving you an alternate if you want to wear the skirt instead of the sock. I hate wearing the head sock, especially midsummer, so that's probably a good option for a guy like me, but that's the clarification on that.
So next on the list is the four-wheelers, and this is kind of a reminder, especially this past racing season, that just make sure that your four-wheelers are adequate to get you on the racetrack, and if you're going to use that four-wheeler to push start your sprint car, make sure that it is capable of doing that. We've had a couple instances where the four-wheeler attempts to or dies, and the whole purpose of this is to keep the show moving along. So just a reminder on that, to make sure that the four-wheelers are in working order, and if you choose to use it to push start your cars, make sure it can. And if it can't, just a reminder to walk around, talk to other teams, let them know, hey, I need some help out there. That's about that. The next thing is make sure you look at your push bar on your four-wheeler. We're trying to avoid the bumper getting hooked on to your push bar, and again, for safety, we don't want to see a four-wheeler get hooked on that bumper, and you
don't want that on your conscience as a race car driver.
No. I think that's all I have.
Fire extinguishers, did you mention the fire extinguishers?
Also, it is in our rule, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken,
Yes.
that make sure your four-wheelers have a fire extinguisher. Again, that's for safety in case there's a fire at any point, that we can access it and put the fire out. So just another reminder on that.
All right, thank you, Sean. Seat belts. there's always questions on seatbelts, on the dates, on the date tag. Do they expire after you purchase them? Like what is the clarification? The best way for me to interpret for you guys is a seatbelt is good for 3 years, or the manufacturer's recommendation. If you look on the lap belt, that'll be the tag with the punch date. They are good for generally 2 years after that date. The Simpsons belts are 3-year belts. So it depends on which manufacturer you purchase. And then that's effective 2021. And if there are any questions, feel free. We will help you out. And like Haley mentioned too, we want to keep you guys on the track and be safe. This isn't something that you're going to be DQ'd for because you were not educated or aware of the rule. So.
Well, one thing that we talked about that I think it's good to point out for the racers, I hate it. And one thing I told Matt when I was talking to him is, why can't we use these as tethers or something else? Why these are perfectly good belts and I have to take them out of my race car? And it's not even the money. I mean, we're not getting any kickback from Simpson or anything like that. Obviously the emphasis on safety. Matt's actually done the research, and one thing I think you guys will find in dealing with Matt, and it's something that we've certainly found, and why the reason he's a really good fit. He doesn't speak about things he doesn't know about. So he did the research. I mean, I believe you actually toured a facility, right?
I
where the
did.
seatbelts were made.
Correct.
And so explain to everybody what you found out. Why do we have to change our seatbelts so often?
So the reason for the 2 years, which, as Kelly mentioned, that doesn't seem like very long. Why take a good pair of belts out of your car? Is the buckles don't fatigue, the belt doesn't fatigue. What's happening is the resin that's within the webbing being exposed to the race environment, the exhaust, the extreme temperatures, cool down, moisture,
Washing the car every
washing
night.
the car.
Yep.
People using cleaning supplies, and sweat it breaks down the adhesive that's within the webbing. So the manufacturer feels that 2 years of that exposure is what's breaking the belt down, which is why they're stamping them only for the 2 years.
So, I mean, you can obviously make a compelling case to say, well, they want to sell more seatbelts or whatever, right? Bottom line is, I can't live with that. Ron can't live with that. These guys don't want to live with that. And your family shouldn't have to live with that because the manufacturers are the experts. So, I mean, again, this is not consistent with anything else that any other series has to do. And it's not too much to ask, so.